All right, good people from all around the world. This is MysterE from Boulder, Colorado for the daily Lunacy report, where we take some black sheep wisdom out of the tarot and out of the wisdom oracle. And we also have our Lunacy oracle here, which, by the way, all of these decks are actually this particular deck with true characters on the back of it is not available. There is a new deck coming soon that will give us the same cards without photographs on it. We have this wisdom oracle and the lunar oracle. So between the three, we're going to send a little message out there. Excuse me. Anyway, today is the 18th day of the lunar cycle, and the idea for today is let me recognize the old is leaving. So if you've been following these videos, I'll give you a little, you've already heard this, but if you haven't, I'll give you a little bit of review, which is we just had the full moon, which is the full illumination of truth. And a lot of times if we're conscious with it, we can see the inner workings of our mind that are keeping us in a limited perspective about our life. And we can see those, and if we're consciously aware that they're simply thoughts. And the idea in the moon is not to get attached to them, but to sit back and observe, go, wow, man, my mind got busier. Wow, look at those thoughts. I have no more use for these. What happens to us all as human beings, is we believe the thoughts that we're thinking. And we don't even realize it until we begin to wake up and we recognize that this thought system that we're in is really quite different than the thought system we thought we were in. And that's the ego's game that we're breaking down so that each one of us can become empowered, awakened, enlightened, and in our fullness of the gift that we came here to share with the rest of the world. And that has always got to do with love. Each one of ours purpose is the same, and that is to love, and then each one of us have a little bit different mission. So we're here to help you open your heart to love and send you out or help guide you along on your mission. So today's idea, let me recognize the old is leaving, is saying, no, these are old thoughts. These aren't the thoughts of right now. These are the thoughts that are old, and I'm letting them go. And so, we're either thinking with our mind or we're thinking with God's mind. Well, we all live in God's mind. It'd be better to think with God's mind, and that's what we're waking up to, is thinking with a higher mind rather than thinking with this egocentrical mind that we've had. So when we find in the full moon that there's thoughts in there we don't like, and we go, wow, I don't have any more use for those, this time is an opportunity to let them go, because the moon has come around to the fullness and it's going to go on the other side, and it's like ocean tide moving from out to in or in to out. It's a transfer of energy, and we can line up with the natural cycles of the moon and use the energetic things that are happening in the larger dimensions around us to help us come in alignment with that and let go of all the old thoughts that we aren't. So anyway, glad to have you with me. Very short reading today. We're going to pull 3 cards. Now see if there's a little message that goes around this. Let me recognize the old is leaving. And this part of the phase of the lunar cycle is called Ready to Let Go. It's 3 days long, and the goal is to be simple. It's really to be simple. It's to be simple because the love is really simple. And the ego thoughts that we want to get rid of are actually fairly complicated, because they take you into a maze, whereas the thinking with God's mind just leads you into a labyrinth. And it's really up to us. Which do we want? Do we want the one step where it's all one choice and all one voice, or do we want to jump into the maze and get lost in the tangling of our mind? And that's the option we have. All right, 3 cards came out. Wow, this is really fascinating. And let's pull a couple of wisdom oracle cards. I've been saying for quite some time, if you follow my twin flame reads, which I make some fun about myself in relationship, but also give a little black wisdom about self-love and loving the other, that February 2022 was really going to go down as this time where a lot of great shifts happen, and we're all coming back together into love. That's our opportunity right now. The world is splitting into 2. It's like an egg is cracked, but there's something that's going to come out of all this. And so if you're being called to watch this message, it's like a time to really, really get clear. Like, wow, the whole world is dividing up into a lot of choices of love or fear, love or fear. And I see a lot of people going in, and I know they're in fear because they're split, because they're against another side. I don't want to be against anybody anymore. I want to be one with myself and one with everybody, and be a contribution to my community and this world. And so anyway, our lunar empowerment class can help you do that. All right, so first wisdom oracle out is called "Fool for Love," and it's so funny because I've been talking about my own tribulations in these kind of relationships, but also like I've got all these books about relationship because I had to channel these books in order to study what I needed to learn my great lesson, which was how to love myself, and then I could really love, you know, the community and the people around me. And it's not an if then because it's always been in play, but I'm still, you know, moving. I'm a fool for love. I'll just say it right now. I'm a fool for love. So right now in this period of time, the astrology is set up for there to be great love. So just open up to a little bit of love. And one of the ways that we really open up to that, and this is a show I used to do on twin flame relationships called We Don't Know. And it's asking you to get into your innocent mind right now. It's saying, no, that was a very intense full moon we just came out of perhaps. And what I really want to do is I want to open up to the higher dimensions of love. And I can do that when two things. If you see the words here, it says, we don't know. You know, and it means I don't know. I really don't know. There must be a higher mind that's governing this entire experience. And I'm going to get into my innocent, not knowing mind, but I'm also not going to know life. I'm not going to say no to it. I'm going to say yes to life. Yes to life. I'm going to say yes to life in a not knowing state. I'm going to say yes to life in a not knowing state. And that's going to make it sparkle and shine. Sparkle and shine. And then the other wisdom oracle card is just like life is like an amusement park. Enjoy your destiny. Enjoy your destiny. And I think why I'm reading those cards first before the tarot cards is we got like, I mean, if I'm reading this thing, I'm reading it. It's really bizarre. We got the Tower card, which in our deck is called Something New. Okay, and that's when the foundational structure of your life crumbles, maybe in an instant or over a period of time, because what you've been doing is you've been changing your inner belief system, and all the things that you had built with your limited belief system have to fall away to make room for something new. So the Tower card, which has got a photograph of a mushroom cloud in the background, and two folks on the card that are kind of sitting there not realizing what's about to happen. That happens to us a lot. We're making changes in our life and we think we're going one way, and sometimes the tower comes and knocks things out. So in this phase of the moon, that can happen. That can happen. Then the second card is the Two of Wands card, which is a kind of a soulmate card. And you got two people here that are incredibly in love. And then the Four of Wands came up, which is the twin flame card. So this is like a love reading in the moon. And what I'm saying is, right now in the lunar cycle, we have an opportunity to meet change in our life with creativity. Because if we meet it with anger, or I want to try to fix it or control it, or, no, we got to learn to surf with it. And so there might be some big changes in your life. There are big changes going on everywhere in our society right now. And we don't know. We don't know what's happening. Let's not let our fears run away with us. Let's not know it. Let's say yes to our heart. Let's say yes to love. Let's enjoy our destiny as we go along. And, I've always had this thing where everything that I've thought I wanted was right in front of me, and I couldn't see it because I had this limited perspective. That's what this lunar cycle is telling us, over and over and over and over. It's saying, no, everything you want, because it's here on earth, everything we have, everything, it's already here. Everything is already here. And a lot of times we have to have our foundation knocked out from under us to see it. And that's when we step into something new and get the experience of true love, because what happens in the tower moment is that our old belief structures about ourselves and the ways that we used to beat ourselves up and not admire and and love ourselves have to be taken away. And that's the only way that we're going to step into new places with our passions and desires that bring us the fulfillment of the solid foundation in ourselves that we can share with others in this world. Don't worry about being a fool for love. Let's all fall in love. That's what the moon is trying to teach us. It's all love. It's all right here. And this thing is saying, don't worry about what's being taken away in life. Don't worry about what's happening in the world, all the big changes that are happening. Step into who you are. Don't know life. Go in with innocence, and things are going to work out wonderfully as long as you trust. As long as you trust it, right? All right, there's our lunar cycle. Lunacy report for today. This is MysterE. I am out.